For our next set of speakers, we have Luc Maertens and Tilsim Demirdoken. I apologize if my pronunciation is not the best, but I did my best. And now I'd like to just share a little bit of information that Luc and Tilsim are the co-founders of the Conscious Breathing in the Classroom work group. Very valuable work that they're doing there, very impactful work. And the topic of this talk is going to be timeout and conscious breathing in the classroom and connect. So, without further ado, please welcome Luc and Tilsim. Tilsim, just letting you know, in case you are speaking at this point, you are muted. If you'd be able to unmute, that'd be wonderful.
We haven't got them.
Here we are.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
So, where's my companion?
Working to get them online. I see that they're sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Tilsim, if you're having issues, would you mind sharing in the chat? I'm not sure if you're actively working on that right now. I see two Tilsims. One is sharing while the other is unmuted. So I'm not sure, because the one I believe that might be speaking now is the one that is muted. So if you see a little notification that you're being asked to unmute, please go ahead and click that, and then we should be able to hear you.
Now,
There we go. Okay. I will go ahead.
I have to close the other one. Okay?
Yes, that'll be fine.
Yep. For me, I okay.
So,
Tilsim,
Oof.
so I
Now
see
but one
I'm-
is
It will be great if you can put your earphones and switch off the speakers.
Apologies for the technical difficulties, everyone. Thank you for your patience as we work these out. As we say in showbiz, live theater, there's nothing quite like it. So thank you all again for your patience. I believe she's reconnecting.
now is it okay?
Yes, perfect.
But in that case, I cannot open the camera, so I'm working. So you don't see me, but you will see the presentation. Is it okay? Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
No worries. Thank you for working through that with us.
Okay. Now trying
So
to share
this was Tilsim. She's working incognito, and I'm the co-presentator.
Luke will be the
Can I
front man.
go?
Yes, look, you start and I'm coming.
Okay.
Okay.
So we are both.
Okay. The slide is coming. I'm just going to share the our story. Okay. Then I'm going to open the slide. Our CBC journey started with a simple question: How can we bring the breath to the children. Because we know that if we had learned how to use our breath as child, life might have been easier, lighter, maybe even more joyful for all of us. As breathwork practitioners, we realize we can't always reach children directly, but teachers, parents, and other caregivers, and just they can reach them every day. And this is how our journey started. As a group within IBF, we came together to make conscious breathing simple, practical, and accessible for everyday life, in classroom, at home, and beyond.
Well, our conscious breathing in a classroom program fits in perfectly with the 2 days theme. What you're probably more familiar with is the time out in most of team sports. The coach can call a timeout to refocus the players when they are underperforming. Well, this way, teachers can turn to CBC when they or the pupils show frustrating behavior that hinders their performance. Then they can use a suitable breathing exercise as a game changer to provide the right energy within minutes. Tilsim, are you there?
Yes. Today we'll be sharing how we use the STOP model in CBC and how we introduce it to children in a simple and practical way. Of course, it wouldn't be a CBC session without a couple of breathing practices. So we'll be experiencing those together as well. We designed this short 25 minutes zipped session, hopefully practical and enjoyable. And we'll be guiding it together with Luke as a friendly, informal conversation. And even though we're online, we'll be keeping an eye on the chat and would love to hear your reflections and comments along the way.
It follows the same structure as today's topic: pause, breathe, unite. And the title of our presentation is Time Out, Conscious Breathing in the Classroom and Connect. So, children and adults are connecting, creating a moment of awareness before reacting, And that moment begins with the breath. Before we go further, maybe we can just pause for a moment. And if you feel comfortable, you can gently sit back in your chair, place your feet on the ground, and allow your shoulders to drop, to soften. Relax and notice your breath. This breath comes also out of the manual from conscious breathing in the classroom. It is described, and you can find it as a lot of other breathing exercises. So breathe your normal rhythm. Breathe in from your belly, through your nose, with your mouth shut. And breathe out through your nose, with your mouth closed. And notice how you feel. As you continue to breathe, notice your inhale. And notice how long it takes. And just to yourself, slowly count out how long. Probably you might notice that it is a count of 2, 3. On your next breath, I want you to double your exhale. If your inhale was the count of 3, you make your exhale to the count of 6. It only has to be close. It doesn't have to be exact, but continue breathing with your exhale doubled. I start counting for a while. 1, inhale, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And go on for some breaths in your own pace. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Double the length. And let your shoulders drop down. Soften your chest. Relax your inhale and exhale. And one more. Allow your shoulders to drop on the out breath, and feel how whole your body is relaxing. Now, just let your breath return to its natural rhythm, and notice if anything has shifted, even slightly. Maybe the body feels a bit softer, maybe the mind a bit quieter. And sometimes this is all it takes, one breath to arrive, and this is where the stops begin. Let's start with a very human moment. Have you ever said something and you immediately wished you could take it back? I think a lot of you have. Or maybe you've seen a child in the classroom who suddenly explodes in anger, not because it is a difficult child, but because it simply didn't have the tools to pause. That is exactly the moment where the stop practice can change everything. The key question is, what happens in the few seconds between the stimulus and the response? Most of us know the experience. Someone says something, a child is angry, a teacher feels overwhelmed, and suddenly we are reacting before we even realize it. To prevent this, we need a break, a timeout. This is the real tipping point for starting a powerful stop practice, which helps children and adults as well create a moment of awareness before reacting. And that moment begins with a breath. And actually, in our daily life, this isn't much more than a deep sigh, which we often use. So, STOP is an acronym. An acronym means a four-letter word, compound word. The S stands for stop, for step back. The T for think. The O, a bit strange, options. And the P for proceed. Let's have a closer look. The red light, the red light means stop, not forever, just for a little moment. Take a conscious breath. Sometimes that breath is only 2 or 3 seconds, but even a few seconds can completely change what happens next. Think of a moment when someone says something that irritates you. Usually, the reaction comes immediately, but the red light appears first and we can pause. Then we have the yellow light. The yellow light in the traffic lights First, we have two compounds. It's think. The yellow light is where we begin to become aware. We take a moment to wonder, what is happening here now? What am I feeling? What is really going on in this moment? And then we have another yellow, the O, for option. An option is quite important. Connecting with our true self, we discover there is not only one way. We discover there are different perspectives with different approaches, different possibilities to respond. Instead of one, the reaction. This is a decision-making step because having options means we can make choices. Now might be the right time to choose a suitable breathing exercise. Short reflection. Children often discover that what they feel is not only one feeling, anger, for example, but sometimes it's embarrassment, sometimes frustration, sometimes simply, really simply being tired. And when they recognize this, they realize as well that they don't have to react in just one way. And the relief, the green light, proceed. We can go on. But now that we have paused, we become aware that we can choose how to respond. The green light is where we move into action. Maybe we speak calmly, maybe we ask a question, or a lot of questions. Maybe we take another breath, or offer a breathing exercise in the class. Out of the list that is mentioned in the manual. So we simply choose to act. This is the moment, what we call conscious action with a connection from the heart. Tilsim, we can't hear you. So Tilsim would say most reactions in life happen because we skip the red light. Most of the time, we don't skip the red light on purpose. We simply don't notice the moment before the action. And that is exactly what STOP teaches children. How to recognize their inner traffic light and give themselves one breath before reacting. But what role does breathing play in creating that pause? Can you connect? No? So it's realizing that breath is always available. It's for anybody. You don't need to have money. It's for free, really, always. So that's very practical. It is the fastest way to regulate our parasympathetic nervous system. And when the body calms down, it opens your heart, and the mind suddenly has more space. There we have a breathing exercise, another one. Maybe before we go further, we can take that moment to experience one again. Just one breath before anything happens. It's a breathing practice, the bear breath, which you jolly name. Every every breathing exercise have got a nice name. The bear breath is a breath. This helps to get self-control, a self-controlling breath, which helps students deal with big emotions, particular anger. With the mouth closed, breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. Then you hold your breath for 2 counts and breathe out the nose through the nose in 2 counts and hold it in 2 counts again. So you can follow the ball. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold your breath, in and exhale, hold your breath, inhale, hold your breath. Do once more by yourself. And another breath, another tour. Thank you. Let's imagine in a few moments where stop could make a difference. Some of the moments, panic reactions, we often notice are before an exam, during a test, when they don't know an answer, or when they feel angry, when they feel left out, when sometimes or something feels unfair, during a conflict with a friend, when someone says something hurtful, or in a bullying situation. When they feel overwhelmed is another possibility, when they are anxious, when their thoughts are racing. And actually, this is not only for children. Teachers, us adults, need to stop as well. Before responding to a stress situation or when the classroom becomes intense, you can also apply it even very discreetly, avoiding panic while waiting for an exam or during an exam, a calming breath during a driving test, in the doctor's waiting room, and imagine while you are queuing for the toilet or on the dentist chair. Imagine there. Alexander, go. Take a deep breath, very slowly, discreetly. And I confess, believe it or not, after a relaxing breath and some heart coherence, I once had a short afternoon nap in the dentist chair. Very relaxing. These are very rare moments, and most of the time they happen unexpectedly. And this is exactly where stop becomes very powerful. Tilsim, can you go on? So she is speechless. Technical problems. But we go on. As we look ahead, our intention is very simple. We would like to bring CBC to more children. To support this, the manual has already been translated in several languages, 9 exactly, and some are still in progress, as Swahili, Arabic. And today, with the support of AI translation, has become more easy, accessible than before. But beyond technology, this is also a very human effort, an effort from several volunteers. If any of you would like to join the work group or support us, especially with translation, solving digital problems, it's very actual, or working out creative ideas, you name it, and we can use it. We would truly appreciate this. You're welcome to write this in the chat or reach out to us, or you mail to us. CBC is a tool to connection among individuals, in groups, and with the translation of the manual is we can connect with nearly the whole world. The team took this work, a team of IBF, International Breathwork Foundation, took this work to the Greek islands, helping refugees, to process trauma. And Ukrainian translation is being used to support people in very, very difficult circumstances. CBC is a simple connecting tool, a source of resilience that can make real difference for children in a moment and in its whole life. There we have a picture with the connection possibilities. Okay. Yes. That's good. So before we close, let's take a last moment together. Oh yes, you see, there you have the breathing classroom, the email address. So you're very welcome. And Marie, another volunteer, is answering all the correspondence, all mails in one time, mostly in the weekend. So have a bit of patience and wait until the weekend. So what we explore today is simple but powerful. When a child learns to pause, even for a moment, they begin to come back to themselves. And when they connect with their breath, they also begin to connect with others. They don't have to react automatically. They can respond with awareness. And when they share that breath, we come together, and together we can create more. We can create something greater. Thank for you being here with us and for bringing this interesting tool into the lives of children. The younger they are, the easier they learn. Without any explanation, they feel what's happening in their body, in their mind. Let's take a last breath together. From our manual, we have chosen an energizer to prepare you for the next presentation after being so interested here. I give you some instructions. First of all, make 2 fists and do it with us. Make 2 fists. Take a deep inhale and hold the inhale, and then you can drum with your fist on your breastbone. It might remind you at Tarzan, so we call it the Tarzan breath. Do you join us? Here we go. 2 fists, and go ahead. Inhale. Oh. Another inhale. Yes, hop, come on. Oh. Well, it's not only for children. One of volunteers members of the IBF did this in a conference with CEOs, and it was a great help for that conference. Inspirational. So, thank you, and give us reactions. What you want. I want to thank Tilsim as well. It must have been very frustrating not to share actively now, but she was the composer of the PowerPoint, and we put everything together in great understanding, calming, with a good relaxing breath now and then. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou.